what comes to your mind when you think of the phrase conscious consumption? If what's in your mind right now are stuff like caring for the environment, probably considering whether your actions have an impact on the environment, and sustainability, you're probably on the right track. The idea of conscious consumption is a bit of that and more. Our environment, ensuring the sustainability of it, not just so that future generations can enjoy what we have now, but increasingly also so that we can continue to have what we have right now. Today I'll be sharing with you why I feel that recycling alone is not sufficient to ensure the sustainability of our environment. We should also consider the idea of conscious consumption. So not too long ago, say about 2 years ago, I was still of the mindset that, hey, I can consume whenever I like, buy whatever I want, and just drop the glass, paper, plastic into respective recycling bins. I'll be still doing my part for the environment. Reuse and recycle, right? It was also then that I started to realize that despite all our efforts in recycling, we were still generating a lot of trash. Then I started to wonder, was it because of the convenience of us having rubbish bins all over that we were subconsciously becoming trash generators? And would reducing the number of rubbish bins actually help us reduce the amount of waste that we're producing? Then I thought back to the time when I was in Japan. As I'm sure most of you who have been to Japan will know, it was such a hassle to find rubbish bins just to drop my trash into it. In the end, I ended up having to hold a small little plastic bag, reused of course, and dropping my trash into it and bringing it around everywhere I went. So that sort of answered my own question. No, reducing the amount of rubbish bins will not reduce the amount of trash that we produce. Rather, it will actually increase the result in a bigger problem, which is to have rubbish thrown all over the streets and everywhere except in the rubbish bins itself. Hence, we had a greater problem to deal with, and that is the reduction of waste. And it had to come from us. Change of mindset, change in our behavior, change in consumption patterns. A bottom-up approach. This should be something that we leave to government policies or even enacting of rules and regulations. By now, some of you might be wondering, how can the actions of you as an individual contribute to something like environmental sustainability? Be it switching over to using metal straws or thinking about whether to buy the extra packet of food and having to throw the excess food away after. Or even something like thinking twice about whether there's really a need to tapao at lunch or breakfast instead of having it at a food court or restaurant. This may seem small and insignificant, right? Today I'm here to tell you that these short-term impacts are not really what we're focusing on. Rather, the collective effort of all of you, in the long run, will result in the change that we very much need in our current times. In fact, some of the eateries have already begun warming up to the idea of switching over to environmentally friendly products. For instance, KFC has recently released a ban on plastic straws across all its outlets. I believe in time to come, more eateries will follow suit. And perhaps you will remember the last time that you felt compelled to follow in the environmentally friendly ways of perhaps your family or friends because they were doing so. Or perhaps you will remember when your friends decided to use a reusable mug because you were using it too. It is my hope and belief that as more and more of us start to think more about our environmental impacts and how our action has an impact on the environment, we will influence others around us to do the same. As the thoughts become actions, and action becomes a behavior, a mindset, our habits, I believe that the change and the betterment of our environment is not too far away. Now, I'll end off my speech by encouraging all of you to think more about how your actions may impact the environment and how you might better change your ways so that you do not do so much harm to the environment. More importantly, you should also think about how you can refrain from generating more waste. After all, this is not the environment, but it is our environment. Thank you.